It seems like the approach right now is to pretend like your candidate doesn't exist, and then when to acknowledge his existence, to dismiss him as a conspiracy theorist.
Let me tell you how this happened, because it really is somewhat astonishing. I've been in politics a long time, and so we're making a real strong push for the end of the quarter to build up our campaign chest. One day we get $1 million, and I'm like, whoa! And people are going to Kennedy24.com, and then the next day, another $1 million. And I'm saying, wait a minute, there's something happening here. He must be catching on. And then the third day, it averaged out to another $1 million. And I'm thinking, I have never seen anything quite like this. So the more people hear Mr. Kennedy, the more they like what they hear. And I think that he's the man for the moment. And the fundraising is really a reflection of it. I am so excited about this campaign, and apparently a lot more Americans are getting excited about Mr. Kennedy's campaign.
It seems like it. It seems like you can see on your screen right now the campaign cash, the fundraising you're referencing. But, it's interesting as well when it comes to Joe Biden. It started to be reported in the press, Politico, The Atlantic, talking about different alternatives to Joe Biden. But again, to my initial question, they're looking for alternatives while one exists. It's as though you don't, RFK Jr., the man you're supporting, isn't an alternative to Joe Biden in so many of the mainstream Democrat circles these days. It's just, despite your fundraising or your polling, which I think in some situations is up around 20, it's, hey, what about Kamala? What about Gretchen Whitmer? Is there any alternative Joe Biden?
Well, the whole thing about success in politics in a campaign is to focus on what we're trying to achieve. And Mr. Kennedy has support that reaches across the political spectrum, and he comes from the center. He opens up to center right, center left, and embraces the totality of America, because Americans don't want somebody who's going to be president of a party. They want someone who's going to be president of the nation. And so people are responding to Mr. Kennedy because people want unity. They want to heal the divide. They're tired of the polarization. They want a president who can stand up against these interest groups. Right. And they see in Mr. Kennedy an authentic truth teller. And this is why the campaign's getting this energy. And I've been in politics a long time. I've seen many campaigns. I've never seen a campaign going vertical like this one. And the excitement keeps building, and it's reflected in the fundraising.
Dennis, as you said, you've been around politics for a long time. You've had your own presidential run. You're just talking about that RFK reflects what you estimate to be policies that are kind of in the center, or sensibilities in the center. And I hear you. So I think the real story is what happened to your party, the one that you once represented, the one that was once skeptical of war and now embraces foreign affairs. What is the party of Democrats?
Well, first of all, I'm a Kennedy Democrat. What does that mean? It's the party of John F. Kennedy, who said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. There's a sense of unity behind it. It's a party of Robert F. Kennedy Sr., who courageously challenged a war and who promised to take the country in a totally new direction. That promise was shortcut. And other Kennedys that have been involved. And now you have Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who represents a reconnection with basic American values that unify all of us. And people want that. They get a feeling about this campaign. I want to make sure that I make this point. This campaign isn't just about an intellectual exercise. It's about the heart. It's about the spirit of America. And the feeling that people get about it is contagious, and it's sweeping Americans up into this cause that's bigger than ourselves. Wow. And that's the thing about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s presidential candidacy. He's unifying Americans. He's causing us to believe the country can be so much better than it is, and that our leaders can be so much better. They can be truth tellers. They can be authentic. They can be people we can trust. They can be individuals who will lead America on a path to not just economic recovery beyond where we are now, but to a spiritual renaissance about we're all Americans, we're all together, the unifying impulse that we have, that when we see the flag pass by and we want to feel that this country is so loved. And Mr. Kennedy has that in his heart and soul to help bring us together.
Well, it's resonating. We can see it in the fundraising, we can see it in the polling. Questions will be recognized by the Democrats. Dennis Kucinich, appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.